Hey, this is Kenny from Kenny's Audiophile Record Reviews. Thank you very much for viewing my channel. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Please forgive me the noise above. That's my ceiling fan. But I'm going to do a very, very brief comparison of the Impex Records Getz Gilberto album. And I'm going to compare it to my best sounding version of the record, the Analogue Productions version of the record. Now, I said to myself, I was not going to do this video when I received my Impex version of the record, because this comparison was fabulously done by Michael Esposito of the In-Groove, his YouTube channel. They did a great job of the comparison. He does great videos anyway, regardless of what he does. And this is a YouTube channel called The Pressing Matters. That did a great review of this of the Impex version of the record. So you should definitely check out their videos because they're just amazing. They're great YouTubers, and I love their content. They're very entertaining, very informative. And oh, by the way, my version, I paid for it. It wasn't a review copy. Paid my hard-earned money for mine. But I think that AB Fon and Impex Records, this was a bold undertaking on their part. And I'm actually surprised they actually did it. It just blows me away that of all the records that they can do, why do that one? And it has nothing whatsoever to do with this being, oh, it's been released, several hundred times or whatever. It has nothing whatsoever to do with that. It has everything to do with this Analogue Productions version of the record is just spectacular. I mean, this version of the record, this is, Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in basketball. That's what this is. This is Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky, and Connor McDavid in hockey. This is a transcendent sounding version of the record. This is Babe Ruth, Sandy Koufax, and Willie Mays in baseball. That's how good this record is, the Analogue Productions version of the record. This is Tom Brady and Jim Brown in football. That's the level this Analogue Productions version of the record is. It is on the top of the hill. It's garnered amazing praise by the audiophile press, YouTubers. That Analogue Production, and by the way, that's a 45 version, 45 RPM version of the record, the Analogue Production. I have a 33 as well. So based on that, this is a bold undertaking by Impex Records. It really is. Now, I'm not going to get into the booklet that's inside. It's amazing. And it was a technical sheet too that explains they didn't want to do any digital corrections because they didn't want to ruin the analog properties of the tape, and I get that. The two channels I mentioned do a fabulous job of doing that. Here's my number if you can see it. But my comparison is going to be a very brief Cliff Notes version of a comparison because, like I said, it's been done by other channels. I just want to give my take on this record, on the Impex version of the record. And like I said, I was not going to do this comparison, but after listening to this record, as I'm recording this video, I received this record today. And I listened to it and I said, Ken, you got to do a video on this one. You just have to. I'm going to explain what I hear in the Analogue Productions of the version of the record. Analogue Productions version of the record is very well mixed. It sounds great. It is a transcendent version of the record in terms of sound, in terms of depth dimension, sound stage, the detail of Apheta Gilberto's voice. And oh, by the way, in the Analogue Productions version, Apheta Gilberto solo on A Girl from Ipanema is in the left speaker. In the Impex version of the record, Apheta Gilberto's vocal solo is in the right speaker. I just wanted to mention that. But the Analogue Productions version of the record, in addition to the properties I just mentioned, in terms of great sound, is, like I said, this version of the record is very well praised. It's so good. It's almost like they've taken that tape and brought, that detailed recording from that studio and they transferred it audibly, fabulously to this record. And it sounds like a very fabulously, excuse me, recorded studio album. You just hear the nuances and everything, the detail. A fabulously displayed via this record studio album. Now here's what I hear in the Impex version of the record. For example, when I listen to Esther Gilberto, and oh, by the way, the two songs that I focus on, even though I listen to the whole album, is The Girl from Ipanema and the song O Grande Amor. Now, I'm probably mispronouncing the song name O Grande Amor. I probably am, so I apologize for that. Those are two favorite songs on this album, with O Grande Amor being the best one, in my opinion. But when I listen to Esther Gilberto and The Girl from Ipanema, on the Impex version of the record, her voice sounded very holographic and very dimensional. It really did. That's what struck me almost immediately when I heard her voice. And the same with Stan Getz playing, the nuances and the detail, the depth, the timbre and all the nuances of his saxophone playing. When you hear Stan Getz playing, it's him. But it was mind-blowing, the detail. When I took a break from this listening session, go to the kitchen and get some water or some soda or something like that, and come back and listen. And I passed my wife going to the refrigerator, and I told her, this record by Impex sounds so amazing and detailed. It's crazy. I mean, it's almost stupid how great this record sounds. It almost elicits an emotion from you when you listen to it. It's like the Impex version of the record took that studio tape, that studio recording, and almost it sounded like a live recording in my listening room, to be quite frank with you. It almost sounded like a live recording. It sounded that dimensional to me. It brought the album, more so than the Analogue Productions, it brought it alive. It gave it, almost like it gave it CPR or something like that. That's how great it sounded. And I was just taken aback by the detail to the point I thought I should do this video. Oh, by the way, if I hadn't mentioned this before, I apologize if I'm repeating myself. I'm using a Rega P8 turntable with a Apheta 3 cartridge, and I'll list the rest of my equipment in the description below if I can remember. But that's the difference, in my opinion, is that the Analogue Production sounds like a great studio recording, and the Impex, it sounds like they were trying to transport the musicians out of the studio into your listening room. That's the difference. This one, the Impex, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, is a fabulous technological achievement in reissue history, in my opinion. This is just amazing what they did with the analog tape, and brought this record that brings this fabulous recording to the listener. And I'm sure some of you out there have systems that are far better than mine, but I think the word transcendent belongs to this project. It really is. It is, like I said, it's a technological achievement in reissue history, what they did, because the Analogue Productions is amazing in its own right. Like I said, this is the Babe Ruth, the Mickey Mantle of this record. But but Impex busts it out and beat it. They're both fabulous in their own right. Like I said, they really are. I think they're both great to have, and they're great in their own right. But if I had to choose between the two, I would choose the Impex record version because of it's more of a you are there feeling. Listen to the Impex versus the Analogue Productions. They're both amazing and fabulous. If I'm choosing the Impex over the Analogue Productions, I really do that. I love the Analogue Productions versions greatly. But like I said, this was a bold undertaking by Impex Records. It really was, because Analogue Productions is just crazily good. But Impex, they brought their A game. They really did. It's a great project. It's a great, I mean, this has been said in other channels. It comes with a booklet, you know, pictures and notes from the Getz family. Fabulously well done box set, in my opinion. But if you have both of these, please leave your comments in the comment section below. Or if you have a version of that you think is better than both of these, please leave your comments in the comment section below. Thank you very much for viewing my video. God bless, strong love, and keep the peace worldwide.